Hey, Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST. I hope that you guys are enjoying this absolutely beautiful weekend. I had to come outside today to film this VODCAST just to take in the amazing weather. So, I have a couple of quick announcements, and then I'm going to get you guys right off to the strategy session that is full of a bunch of math, reading, and writing strategies that your scholar can complete this week for some house points and to strengthen their understanding of the many things that we are learning in class. So first of all, I would like to congratulate our newest Riker Rockstar of the Week, Mr. Michael Garrett. You know, Michael earned his backpack on Friday during Academy time, and it was just so fitting for him to also become the Riker Rockstar of the Week due to his incredible consistency and genuine implementation of the Barrett Academy Constitution. You know, Michael is living the Constitution on a daily basis, and I could not be more proud of him. So congratulations to this week's Riker Rockstar of the Week, Michael Garrett. A couple of other quick announcements, guys. First of all, there is no school on Tuesday due to the primary election, so no school on Tuesday. And I sent home that half orange fluorescent sheet with the new school calendar dates that the school sent out. You know, some early outs were taken away, and I'll keep you updated on that on the Riker Rockstar newsletter that comes out each week as well. So I believe that those are all of the announcements that I have for this week. It's going to be an exciting week in Room 21. You're going to have to ask your Rockstar about all the incredible things that we are doing, learning in class. So at this time, I'm going to send you guys off to the strategy session. Okay, Room 21 Rockstars, I'm starting off on our homepage, recordrockstars.weebly.com. I have a bunch of different strategies, so we're going to get right over to the VODCAST section today. Okay, now you're going to find a bunch of different areas that you can work on this week. Some of them being review and some of them being totally new concepts that we're actually learning in class this week coming up. So first of all, we have the classifying angles, naming angles, measuring angles. These are all from last week, guys, but you can still complete them for a house point apiece. This is a double house point week, so anything that you earn on the VODCAST this week, including the secret hashtag, is going to be double the amount of house points, which is pretty exciting indeed. Now, I have two new areas this week. The first one I'm going to focus on is classifying triangles. Okay, now I do want to take you over to the IXL site here because I thought that this was pretty good. And obviously, if you just draw the triangle quickly on a sheet of paper, tell me the classification, then you can go ahead and get yourself some house points. Now, before we go on to that, I did want to review with you guys the classifications of triangles that we discussed last week. So we have two ways that we classify triangles, and I think that's really important that we get that down. And first of all, that our first classification would be by angle measure, okay? And our second classification, and I'm sorry for my handwriting, would be by side length, okay? Go ahead and make a little T-chart here. Okay, now we have three different classifications under each idea there, guys. So by angle measure, we obviously can have an acute triangle, which is simply all three angles being acute. Okay, we can also have ourselves a right triangle. If we find one right angle in a triangle, we know it's a right triangle. Remember last week we tried to create more than one right angle in a triangle, and we found that we would no longer have a triangle, we would have a quadrilateral or more. Okay, and then we also have an obtuse triangle, and that is when we have one obtuse angle in our triangle. Okay, so that is based on angle measure. Now we also have our side length, okay? So based on side length, I'm going to start with the easiest one in my opinion, and that would be the equilateral. Okay, so the equilateral triangle has all three sides being congruent. Okay, and remember we want to use that word congruent, congruent meaning same size and same shape. Then we have a triangle that has two sides congruent, and that is isosceles. And if you guys remember from class, we kind of use what my students had last year, meaning I saw, as in with my eyes, Celise, who is a person, and Celise has two arms, and then we think, okay, I saw Celise has two congruent sides. And then finally, we have ourselves the scalene triangle that has no sides congruent. Okay, they're all a different length. Okay, so we classify triangles based upon angle, measure, and side length. So we're going to go ahead and do this one here, number 2, together. And then I have a bunch of other problems here that you can go ahead and complete for 2 house points apiece. But since this is a double house point week, you can go ahead and double that total as well. So if we look at number 2 here, okay, now first I want us to classify this triangle based on angle measure. So is it acute, right, or obtuse? Well, I'm going to go ahead and dig into my angles here. I have an angle here, I have an angle here, and I have an angle here. Now this angle here and this angle here both look acute to me, less than 90 degrees. But this angle right here is definitely greater than 90 degrees, which would make this triangle obtuse. Okay, remember an obtuse triangle can only have one angle being obtuse, otherwise you would no longer have a triangle, because we know that all triangles, the 3 angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so that is based on angle length. So we have an obtuse triangle. Now based on side length, I meant angle measure just a second ago, guys, sorry about that. Now based on side length, okay, and remember, we're just eyeballing this. We're actually not using a ruler or anything like that. I mean, you could, but it appears to me, and let me get a different ink color, that this side, that all 3 sides are different, okay? Just by looking at the triangle itself. Sorry about that, guys. Oop, let me go on back. Here we are. Okay, so let me go ahead and get back to my pen. So this side is different than this side. So then this side I could give 2 hash marks. And then this side is definitely different than all 3. So if I have 1 hash mark on one side, 2 hash marks on the other, and 3 on the other, that means no sides are congruent, which would make this triangle scalene, okay, which is right here. So this triangle is an obtuse scalene triangle, okay? So you may want to copy down this T-chart. I know that you guys have it in your notes as well, so you may want to use that when you go about and complete this. So I'm going to erase that, okay? Now I have this here. You can go ahead and complete each of these triangles. Tell me, you know, what are they based on? Angle measure and side length. Okay, classify them. 2 house points apiece, but since this is a double house point week, that would equate to 4 house points per triangle. And I know that some of you are working incredibly hard to boost your house up, so what a great opportunity for you. Now I have another page here that actually gives you measurements. So you may want to pause your paper as well. Make sure you draw the triangle and then write down your classifications. Okay. And then I have some other problems here that use the symbols that we learned about in class. So you can pause your screen right here. Okay, so that is dealing everything with triangles. So you can get a house point for each problem on IXL, or you can pause the video a little bit ago that I just played and complete those classifications as well. Everything's double house points, so you have many opportunities there this week. Now, I have 2 other things available online, okay, that we're going to start talking about tomorrow in class, and that would be the classifying quadrilaterals. Okay, quadrilaterals, quad meaning 4, triangles, tri meaning 3, quadrilaterals. Now you learned about quadrilaterals in the past, and really in 4th grade, so this is kind of a refresher, but I did put together this video right here that really does a nice job of explaining and how to classify quadrilaterals to the very specific degree. Okay, so really the best way for us to use all of that rich vocabulary. So what you guys are going to find right here, we're going to be using this dichotomous key tomorrow starting in class. So this would be a great video for you to view right now. If you just write down on a sheet of paper that you viewed this video, I will give you 5 house points because it is a great supplement to what we're learning. And we will be watching it later this week in class, so if you watch it now, then you can go ahead and get on to your 4 opportunities that I'll be presenting with you later this week in class. I also have a pretty cool quadrilateral song that another teacher wrote, so I'm going to actually go ahead and play that for you guys right now, because this will kind of be a precursor to what we're learning this week in class. I got 4 sides and they all meet. My angles add up to 360. I have so many identities. Whoa.
square, it's a square swaying to this beat. The trapezoid only has one pair of parallel lines that never meet. They're so different, but they share a common polygonal family. They are both quadrilaterals, classifying. We are made at four sides, 360 on the inside.
So I thought that song, guys, did a really nice job of summing up quadrilaterals, and then maybe later this week or maybe even tonight, you may want to check out these two IXL sites. I'll give you a point apiece. This is where you're actually practicing, okay, your identification of the quadrilaterals. Okay, so first of all, they're saying, is this a parallelogram? No, okay, because a parallelogram has four sides and two pairs of parallel sides. And then what they want you to do is actually choose all of the following here, guys, that would be classified under that label. Okay, I still do have the Padlet up, which has the opportunity for you to find angles all around. So Allie and Sarah so far are going to go ahead and get themselves 5 house points, but since this is a double house point week, that would mean 10. So they found some things in their house, they identified those as acute, obtuse, straight, or right angles. I love how Sarah had 3/4 of a birthday cake left over from her birthday, and that would be a reflex angle. Our math challenge of the week, guys, is actually your 4 opportunity in terms of angle measurement. Many of you have placed that into the bin, into the envelope on the chalk tray already. If you haven't done so, that is there as well. Make sure you write down your wonder questions for the city of Ember. We have Sarah wondering, how did Granny get the fever? How old is Mrs. Murdo? How big is Mrs. Murdo's house? How does Poppy feel about not having Granny around? And Allie wonders, will Sage come in handy? Is Clary special to Mayor Cole? Does Lizzie dream about the place too? Are the believers scared? And has Captain Fleary been in the unknown region? Some awesome, awesome questions contributed by those 2 scholars. So thank you very much, guys, and make sure you continue adding your I wonders there as well. For writing this week, I thought that this was a really cool writing fix of the week. You can get yourself 5 house points for writing some type of story or response to this prompt. And since this is a double house point week, you get yourself 10. So this is the inside of a piñata. Okay, write the story of a child's birthday party from the point of view of the piñata. And you know, guys, we're talking about those possessive nouns. Sorry about that. That was a bit of a mess. But since we're talking about those possessive nouns, child is singular, and it owns the birthday party. Okay, so child's is apostrophe S. Okay, so I thought that was kind of cool. But you can go ahead and complete your sacred writing time or your prompt for this week, and I'll have you guys share it during sacred writing time. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what the secret hashtag of the week is, and the secret hashtag of the week is hashtag mystery of the Lost Colony. Hashtag Mystery of the Lost Colony. We're going to be having a debate in class this week, and it's going to be a ton of fun after we discover and think about the mystery of the Lost Colony. So that is your secret hashtag for the week, rock stars. And now I'm going to send you guys back over to Mr. Reichard in person.
Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, I hope that those strategies were successful. You know, as Rockstars, as I was filming this podcast, I couldn't but think of the sound waves coming off of that wind chime right there behind me, and the pitch and frequency of each and every chime. Science is everywhere, as well as geometry. Check out all the geometry around. So, it is going to be a great week, Rockstars. I hope that those strategies were successful. Room 21 Rockstar families, as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to contact me, because you are the very best families in Stafford County, and I will see you guys next week.